This is my persuasive speech. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 people. Alright, you ready? Okay. I know most of you have had pets or have pets today. I know I have for sure, and my situation was a little bit different because my family actually fostered animals, and I had the opportunity of actually seeing these pets pretty much benefit from being adopted from shelters. I saw multiple cats and dogs just scared and timid come into my house, and then within days just filled with love and just ready for a new home, and they would not been able to have a chance at life if everyone was buying from breeders instead of adopting from shelters, pretty much. So they might not have known it at the time, but I'm really proud that my family saved lives growing up. So it means a lot to me. So because animals die every day in shelters, and according to the ASPCA, 6.5 million animals come to the shelter and 1.5 million die each year. And that's just in the US. That's not even including shelters around the world. So imagine how high the number gets when you're gonna try to count every country that has stray animals. So adoption is key if we want to save millions of lives. And the shelters are overpopulated and people continue to buy from breeders, and it's unfortunate. So when you do decide to adopt, it gives room for other animals to come to the shelter and eventually be rehabilitated and have a chance to live also. And you're not just saving the one pet that you adopted, you give a life, you give a chance for other dogs and cats to have life. So because when you do buy from an internet source or buy a puppy from a pet store or just in the market, more often than not these animals are coming from puppy mills. And if you don't know what puppy mills are, it's pretty much dogs and or cats really just there to reproduce litter after litter with a really terrible quality of life. And as of today, the Humane Society says that 195 million dogs are used just for breeding, and they're kept in puppy mills, 195,000. So today, as of this year actually, 2 million puppies are still bought from puppy mills. And if you compare that to the 1.5 animals that are put down, it doesn't make any sense that the amount of people that are buying puppies don't match up to the numbers that are dying. Like, something doesn't add up there. So a lot of people would argue that, you know, I wanted a purebred dog and he was licensed, or, you know, he was legit. But a licensed breeder doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to give your dog a good quality of life. So it's unfortunate if you're trying to justify buying from a breeder, because nothing's guaranteed, really. And when those animals that are being kept for breeding, when they're not able to reproduce anymore, they're either killed or they're abandoned. So in turn, it just adds on to the already overpopulated shelters. So nothing makes sense about it, really. So shelters, the population of animals in shelters come from a variety of sources. So it's unfortunate that some people have to surrender the animals for whatever reason. It comes from animal cruelty cases and strays, really. And the amount of cats and dogs that come in is 6.5 million, which is just across the nation, really. And now that I got all that weird, like, just not fun facts thrown at you, I'm sorry. Let's talk about what we can do to help the shelters, all right? So, adopt, obviously, is what I'm trying to get at. That's the one thing that we can do to help these shelters make a difference. And imagine a world where everyone did adopt and no one's buying from breeders anymore. Imagine a day where everyone collectively killed puppy mills. Like, they don't exist anymore. Nothing's overpopulated anymore. The there's no stray animal. You walk down the street, you don't see a poor little kitty, you don't see a dog running, sniffing around. Just imagine that. So if everyone were to adopt a pet today, just one person for one animal, that will help shelters take the giantest leap forward to help pet homelessness, just to combat it completely. Maybe like I think the average number that they're saying is, the ASPCA is saying, is if one person adopted one pet in 20 to 25 years, they could combat it, because they're going to spay, they're going to neuter, they're going to do everything they can to help overpopulation. And so I know there was a lot of information for you, but I do hope that with this information, when you do decide to go out and get a pet, you consider adopting and shopping, because even if you want a purebred dog, there's an organization called Shelter Pet Project, and what they do is they will help you find an animal near your neighborhood, right down to the size, the breed, the temperament. So all of the excuses that people do have to buy from a breeder or whatever it is, it's all invalid, because here are all these resources where you can get a specific dog, adopting and helping shelters at the same time. So I hope that you enjoy the satisfaction of rescuing a dog when you do decide to adopt a pet, because the results are amazing. And I think that every single person could benefit from having a rescue dog or cat in their life. All right? And thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed.
Aww.